Hey! So, I did my makeup. What do you think? What do you think? It's been a couple days since I did like a full look, and you know, feeling myself again. I know. For the last few days, ever since I hopped back on here, I've been very fixated on this whole like topic of fat. And, you know, first of all, it just is what it is. I think that you've got to admit something, acknowledge it, just accept that just because something is the truth right now does not mean that your fate is sealed forever. And on one hand, I understand from just belief systems in general, and definitely new age points of view about manifestation and the law of attraction, and you have to assume the dream or the outcome or whatever you're wanting now as reality, and then it becomes reality. Sure. Something like this, though, like when it comes to your weight, or anything that takes genuine time to change, it's not gonna happen overnight. Like, let's not set ourselves up for failure because I'm not going to suddenly be the physique that I want tomorrow, or a month from now, or 3 months, or 6 months, or a year. Even if I do get on a program and get some medicinal help. It just, that's a fact. So if you have watched my videos from the last few days and maybe like you thought I'm being negative or fat phobic, or maybe you're bothered by what I said because you're like, well, I'm fat. How dare you talk about being fat like it's a bad thing? Body positivity, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Just because I don't like being fat doesn't mean that you don't have to like being fat. And just because I want to do something about it doesn't mean that you have to do something about it. We don't know each other. It doesn't matter. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. It's something that's obviously been really on my mind. I have an issue with it. That's okay. It's motivating me to change. And just because that is my reality right now, it doesn't mean that I don't like myself. It doesn't mean that I don't still think that I am an attractive person, like I do. And it doesn't mean that if you're in a similar boat, that you can't feel good about yourself too. Wear clothes that suit you. Alter your style. If you're a woman, put on makeup, do your hair. I don't know. But I just wanted to say that. And speaking of diet related things, it's time for me to eat something. So let me get my stuff together. Wow, what an angle. But this is the angle that we're doing because my phone needs to be on the charger. This is the only way I can prop it up. Because I don't know where my tripods are. And the one I do know of for sure is at work. So speaking of work, I just want to talk through something that I have been thinking about, mulling over, struggling with a bit, and it's about this state of transition that I'm in where I know that I don't want to have the job that I have anymore, but I also don't want to look for a new job. I've actually decided and realized that I don't want a job at all. And so I'm trying to think of like, okay, well then how do I support myself with not having a job? And because it's not that I don't want to do anything, I like what I currently do actually. It's just that I am so not a corporate person. I don't function well in a corporate environment. I think that it's stupid. I think that all the pretending is stupid, the false sense of urgency is stupid. I think that the whole institution is disgusting because it's predicated on extreme greed, and it's not even evenly distributed greed, or it doesn't even have to be even, it's just not equitable. So I don't want to support it. I don't want to drain my life force into it, and it does feel like at this point it is just draining me. So I don't want to do it, but I like helping people find products. I don't have an issue with selling. I like doing makeup, but I want to be paid for my time. And I also don't think that I really care to do, unless somebody is a great long-term client of mine, that I want to do like event makeup. I like to help people figure out how to do the makeup that they want for themselves. I just fit better into a mentor kind of role than I do one where I am like a high pressure expert. Like, I don't want to do somebody's makeup, like their bridal makeup, and it's this really intense situation. But I do want to be paid for my time. So, like, I really want to do mentoring. And I started to think of a business model that would work for myself, where I would really like to help people build out their makeup spaces, like somebody who wants to start implementing that into their lives. I want to help them create the space for it. I want to help them organize. I want to do edits on what they have. I want to help them find products that actually fit their lifestyle and routines and what they're trying to accomplish. And I'll help them create a routine and teach them how to do it. And then, after we go through that process together, if they want to book me to do their makeup for something, they can. But those are all things that I love to do, and I would love to do for somebody that I have learned and become a specialist in throughout my time in the position that I've been at for 4 years and with my license. But this whole retail environment where people can just come and use you and exploit your time and your knowledge and then literally just waste it. And if I have nothing to show for it, like through that transaction, because they didn't buy or they didn't buy enough to warrant all that they took from me, then it looks like I don't know how to do my job or I don't do my job well. And I don't think that that's the case. I'm very well spoken through these processes. I'm very thorough. I'm happy to spend my time with somebody, but there's nothing that locks them into paying for that time. And then if they don't even buy product, then it's like, what was the point? And then I have nothing to show for it. And that's literally all I'm judged by. So if the only way that I can show evidence that having me there in my position is valuable and that the company should pay to keep paying me to come, then it just seems like one day I'm going to be out of a job because it's so hard for people to spend, the people that come to my store anyway, to want to spend that money on this brand. They don't appreciate it. They're so happy and ready to ask to come in and get their makeup done, and then they just want it for nothing. And that is deeply offensive because it's like, what do you think this is? It's like of a detriment to me. It's a drain on me, and you should be paying somebody to do your makeup. Like, if you don't actually want product, then you need to book somebody who does this by appointment or by the hour. And people have asked me if I offer a traditional makeup service thing on the side, like through my own. And I think the way that I described is the only capacity in which I would. I'm not trying to do appointment after appointment a day as a hustle. That's also something that I've had to think about, and like the longevity of this for me. Because like, do I love to do makeup? Yeah. But I never want to do more than 3 people's makeup a day max. So that doesn't sound very feasible, because in order for me to have any kind of a stable or comfortable financial life, like, what am I gonna do? Charge $500 for some makeup that I did that is just like a normal makeup, an average makeup? You know, that's crazy. That's not sustainable. What I am thinking about is way more sustainable and helpful in my opinion. What is my sim doing? I'm also playing The Sims. And honestly, it is representative of the life I'm over here trying to have. Because I made this family like a week and a half ago, and by family, I mean one sim. She does not have a job. She became like a master painter. Is she wealthy, and do I use cheat codes on her? No. But she has almost $13,000. She lives in a nice house. She has a pool. And I would love to live here. And she just sold her paintings and doing mentoring. She's mentored a lot in painting. And it sustained her. So I'm kind of just using it. I've always used The Sims as like a visualization and manifestation technique, because it's like a game and I'm having fun and the pressure is low, but I can be interactive with it and build the world and see how I feel about it. And I love this. This is like my favorite build so far, because I would still get secondhand stress when my past Sims would have to go to a job. And when I started playing The Sims again as an adult, you know, I wanted these people to make money and to work and go up the corporate ladder, and they would, and they were always miserable. And the only thing I liked as the creator about what they were doing was that they were financially safe and that they had like some kind of clout. And over time I realized that none of that really mattered. And then the last house that I made, which I loved, there were 4 people in there, but there was one that was like most representative of me. And I did love that it was like a Golden Girl kind of set up, to where it was four ladies who like were not partnered and they were just all cool in their own way. And I used cheat codes for them because I wanted them to just be able to live in a mansion. And I love and respect that vibe. But all of them have simple or like not super high paying jobs. Like the most esteemed job that one of them had was being like a detective or something. And then one was a chef, one was a barista, and one was in retail and was like a manager in customer service or something. And they all just like aren't stressed by their jobs. They like their jobs and they get to live in a mansion. And I'm like, well, this should just be a reality. Okay. But now in my latest sim, like I said, she has no job. She doesn't report to nobody. She doesn't even technically have a business. She just sells her paintings and she mentors people who are willing to pay for the mentoring. And she's gotten to a point where I think she charges like a little over $400 an hour for mentoring, and then she sells the paintings afterwards. And I'm like, this is amazing. I know that it wouldn't realistically play out to be quite like that in real life for me, but I mean, honestly, why not though? Now that I think about it, if I'm doing all that work with somebody to like create, organize, edit, and mentor, I mean, what's it worth to that person? You just have to find your audience. And the other thing that I want to start doing, because I keep hearing people talking about it, is selling stuff online. And I'm like, why don't I do this? And that's the other thing. Part of me is just, I think it's the exhaustion from my job, which is why I'm at this standstill of I fear quitting because I don't have anything lined up, and I don't want to lose my insurance because I like going to the dentist, and I contribute to my health savings account and my retirement and all that. So those are the things that I don't want to give up that would come from giving up a corporate job. It's like the only thing that keeps anybody there at a corporate job. It's sick. But unless I get fired, unless I find something I actually want to transition into that gives me the same stability, fat chance, or the store closes or I get laid off, like I kind of wish that those things would just happen, because then it's like when you don't want to break up with somebody, right? Like, because then it's not your fault. I don't want it to be my fault that I don't have a job. I want to be like, oh, well, the job doesn't exist anymore. And I'm getting like severance or something or whatever, like if I did get laid off, would be my dream. It would be my dream because I don't want to go anymore, but I don't want to quit. And I don't want to have nothing to show for it. Like, I want to just be peacefully unemployed for a while and work on building this out, because right now I just don't have the energy to do anything. I feel that's kind of why I'm like, okay, what can I do? Like, I can start working on getting this weight off. I can eat better. I can go for walks. I can play The Sims, and I can just try to get through my job. That's kind of the capacity that I have. And what would get me to the next place to be able to do stuff to where like I actually want to sell stuff online. I actually want to start going after this an idea that I have. I need the time and the energy, and I just don't really have either. I need that business that I'm working for to like shut down or do layoffs or something. Please, God, and pay me for it.